But I have been hindered mightily. And y'all in here have the flu this past year? I just knew after 3 days I'm well. The 4th day I got up, and the 5th day I thought I was going to die. Lord, my wife even got worried about me. And you know she don't worry about me. Oh, I got sick. Well, I said, Lord, you got to get rid of it. I don't trust aspirin. I don't trust, my sister called it Tylenol. Sister Carolyn's mom, that's what she'd call. Well, I took a Tylenol. Well, I ain't taking no Tylenol or Tylenol either. Take all of this stuff. I ain't got no confidence in that, so I ain't going to take it. I ain't got no confidence in a doctor in Tyler, Dallas, Houston, or nowhere else. I'll tell you who I've got confidence in. The one that's kept me all these years. I've never called on him when he did not answer. Listen to me, folks. I get up every morning. I got no pain in my body. I can lay down and sleep at night. I can get up the next morning. I've got a good appetite. Sister Eva said she couldn't eat. Brother Isaac said you got to eat. She couldn't eat. But I'm going to tell you something. Jesus is still the healer, whether you've got an appetite or whether you don't. You got somebody in your corner that's warring against all of those demonic powers that's trying to pull you down to the bottom. Friends, when you get there, Brother Oscar and some of you in here, in the job situation, in the economy, they said, oh, look, things is going down. What am I going to do? Same thing you always done. Will you open up, let's read Malachi 3, just to open and read it. And sometimes you read that and you say, well, God, how come this is not happening to me? Open it up, folks. Open it up. Come on. I'll come back in a minute. Unplug the clock. The last book in the Old Testament. Go over with me. And come down to the 3rd chapter. And let's listen to I want you to listen to what he has to say. We're going to start in verse number 6. Even from the days of your fathers, you're gone away from mine ordinances. Hear it. And have not kept them. Return unto me, and I will return unto you, saith the Lord of hosts. Man, that's pretty stiff stuff. But ye said, wherein shall we return? Well, a man robbed God, yet you've robbed me. But you say, wherein have we robbed thee? In tithe and offerings? Ye are cursed with a curse, for ye have robbed me, even this whole nation. And I don't know a family in this church that's done that. This church, to my knowledge, every family in this church pays tithes. Yes, sir. You say, well, that don't apply to the harvest time church. Let's read the rest of the story. And let's listen now. You pay your tithe. You give your offering. Verse number 11 or 10. Bring you all the tithe into the storehouse. You say, I've done that, preacher. That there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you windows of heaven, and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. And I will rebuke the devourer for your sakes, and he shall not destroy the fruits of your ground. Neither shall your vine cast her fruit before the time in the field, saith the Lord of hosts. What's he saying here, folks? What's he saying here? He's going to open the windows. Be honest with me. I'm just going to pick on my daughter. Where's she at? Well, she's gone outside with the grandbaby. She didn't come. I'm pick on son-in-law then. You should have had some help here so you wouldn't have been just you. But you know, all these years, they're very faithful paying their tithe. And they give their offering. They gave offerings even to the school was starting up here. And they brought tithe and put in this church. Lots of different times. And listen to me. But they ain't no job. They drawed unemployment. Come time unemployment, the check starts running out. What are you going to do? Same thing always done. Going to trust God. Going to believe God and going to hope it's getting better. Brother Burl, y'all went through a thing. And the devil said, where's the window? It's stuck. No, it's not stuck. Brother Oscar said, look what's happened. I've been faithful and the record's here. I paid my tithe, I gave my offering, I've done everything, but suddenly he didn't have no job. When he didn't have no job, he couldn't pay his bill. When he couldn't pay his bill, first thing you know, the devil begins to tell you if you're not careful. Listen to me. Yeah, you've listened to that book. Yeah, you've listened. And he's over in your corner, friend. And he's working on you. But Jesus, the Holy Ghost said, have faith. Let's read John and see what he says in 3 John and the 2nd verse. He said he would that you prosper and be in health. Suddenly your health begins to spring up. God opens you up. I don't care if it is a handful that he drops on purpose. Brother, he'll drop in what we have need of. Every one of us in here, we have more than sufficiency. If we've got food to eat and a place to lay our head and shelter over us, thank God we ought to walk in gratitude. Paul himself said, be content with such things as you have, but not me. I got to have this. And you don't got to have nothing, friend. Everything we've got, it's good. My little brother went to the fellowship meeting and I was preaching in Lufkin here last week. In fact, this past Friday night a week ago. I didn't know that was the last time I'd ever seen him. I talked to him on the phone. I didn't know that was the last time I'd ever seen him. Well, I knew he had some problems, but who don't? Hello? And the phone rang at 2 o'clock Tuesday morning, and the words was, Carl's had a massive heart attack, and he didn't make it. My heart, brother, went up here and then went all the way to the bottom. I said, it can't be. It can't be. Ain't no way he can go first. My wife told the preacher yesterday, or whenever it was, said, Carl died, said him and you were going to preach my husband's funeral. Now, Carl's gone. Don't you let nothing happen to you, boy. But you know what? Even though he's younger, he may go first. You know, our life's a vapor, but what it is, the devil gets in your corner. First thing you know, he drives that fear. And all we get to worrying about our finance. We get to worrying about our retirement. We get to worrying about everything that you can name. And there's always a devil there. This man and his wife right here, they sold their home, they sold everything they had, and they come down to Jacksonville area and they've always paid their tithe and been faithful in their giving. But the bottom fell out. But he just keeps on keeping on. Now that ain't the story. What happens? God's a keeper of his word, folks. God will be faithful to you, and God will do his part. He's waiting on me to do my part. And when you get in there, that coach can tell you all he wants to tell you, but he ain't out there with them gloves on. He ain't out there in that heat. You listen, he said, I'll not leave you. He's there in that corner to coach you. He's there to help you. And Coach Warren would say, hold your guard up. Dear God, you couldn't hold your guard up. That dude done knocked your lights half out. You're doing good to get it up any at all. Sometimes the devil, he gives you a blow you can't seem to take no more. Little lady came up to me after the funeral Friday. They was having a celebration. I couldn't celebrate. I just couldn't. I'm sorry. And I apologize. Oh, brother, they had it rocking and rolling. You'd have thought you was in a revival. They had her pumped up. They had her going. And that's the second song. I sat down.